Hello, my name is Amber Greenlee. We have very epic music today because we are getting close to a climax finale. I would like to introduce my co-host, Robin Fisher, who's in a tiny little corner. Let me make you bigger.
That's unnecessary.
Robin Fisher, who is coming to us from the Great White North of Canada. And then I would also like to introduce our co-host today, who is Kay Kirscht. Kay Kirscht is a good longtime friend of the show and, amazing person who came in at the last second when we had an artist have to pull out at last minute for other obligations. And so she's a cartoonist out of Minneapolis, pretty amazing person. Hi, Magic Marmot. And yes, so we're very close to the climax today. So Kay, I need you to reshare your screen.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, I got your screen. Never mind. I got it. You're good. Yeah, never mind. I got it. So yeah, don't mind that. So okay, I will put me in one of the small windows, and then I will do this. So where we left off in the story, and the reason why we're playing epic climax music today is because Philo and Armand have a moment. Ratchet Oil realizes she must unglue from the dog mech that she made stronger. Demented anime rabbits are delicious. Ratchet Oil joins the crew of the dog mech. Then the Blutos survived the attack from the dog mech. Hi everyone, and Riley. Oh hi, and welcome back, Robin. The Skull Blutos.
Riley and Mutant Fox.
Vow revenge. The dogs think that the Skeleblutos look delicious because they're full of bones. So he jumps out of the dog mech, exposing Philo and Ratchet Oil to danger to go after the bones. And then this forces Philo to have to defend himself, where he's like, Philo's got to do whatever Philo's got to do. So Philo takes matters into his own hands. And then he's like, is that the best you got? And so he and the dog are fighting the Skeleblutos. Philo sasses the Skeleblutos, and then his Bluto is the boss battle and is like, hey baby, why are you doing this to me? And the last panel that we left off at is, I'm in love with an octopus now, we're done. Philo breaks Bluto's heart.
Awesome.
So what happens after Philo breaks Bluto's heart? Like, do we go to the talk show we were talking about?
I think that's a great idea. Have like a Phil Donahue-like character.
Should we? So who plays Phil Donahue?
What?
So who? Okay, let me turn down the epic music. It's pretty epic.
I think Phil would probably play Phil Donahue.
Okay, is that less epic? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, make it too epic.
No, it gives us a great soundtrack.
Yeah, had to dial back the epicity.
the epicity of the music. Yes. So Kane drew the last panel, and their panel's awesome. But
yes.
Do you want to draw the first panel, or do you want me to draw the first panel, Kay?
I'd like to draw the first panel.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's awesome. So your panel is up in the big window right now.
Should it be Sally Jesse Raphael? Should it be Geraldo Rivera? Or should it be Phil Donahue? That's the trifecta.
Well, don't forget that Oprah was technically a talk show.
Yeah, but I don't know. She just doesn't have the same cheesy 80s impact as the other three do.
I see.
But she does have
90s,
compassion.
More like housewife self-help than scandalous.
I see the glasses of Sally Jesse Raphael, but kind of more of a Jerry Springer look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, Magic Marmot says Jerry Springer.
Okay, so would they be, let's see, this caption would be, they all went on a talk show?
No, like, meanwhile, just put meanwhile, and then they're on a talk show. I mean, they were in a stomach at one point doing stand-up comedy, so...
That's true.
Well, it wouldn't be a meanwhile. It would be a and then like, and then, right? So meanwhile means like it's happening at the same time. So
Okay.
they're, yeah. So
Meanwhile, they appeared on Sally, Jesse, Raphael.
how about three-way love triangle C
Zero
to
time.
yeah, like C as in SEA to like screen, right? Because of Bluto. Right? So three-way love triangle C to screen. Right? Because that's something that a talk show would have. Let's see, Mutants Fox says, I haven't thought of Sally Jesse 3 names in long time. When I was a kid, I was confused why the show didn't have anything to do with Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Fair.
Why don't we have Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as the host then?
Oh,
Yeah,
excellent.
But you have to have Sally Jesse's glasses.
Yes.
Okay, great. And also, the name of the show is Three-Way Love Triangle.
Yeah, but I don't think we should have the meanwhile. I think it should just start with they appear.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good to me.
Yes. So you're gonna have Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hosting three-way love triangle talk show. And you're gonna have like, okay, so it's gonna be like the three chairs on one side and then the one chair on the other side, right? And then like you got to have the microphone with the wire because we're going way back to the 80s, and then the audience up on like the dais. Is it sad that I remember the format so well? But yes.
Wasn't that long ago.
Let's see, they end up on three-way love triangle show with
Raphael. But
Well-
that's all room I've got.
Ian, did they used to call Raphael Raph? Yeah. Okay, Ian says it works. It's canon.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Raphael. Magic Marmot says.
No, Ian's
But you
right.
can also put it on 2 lines. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, you can put it on 2 lines. It's
Okay.
Okay, so with them on the talk show in Kay's panel, what am I drawing on my panel? What's their beef with each other? Obviously, it's like Armand is now in love with Philo. I'm in love with an octopus now.
I think Bluto feels blindsided.
Pluto feels blindsided. You skeletized me.
We were in love. It was a love of ages, and now all of a sudden he's taking up with this octopus. Like, when did this happen?
Well, but Pluto was also abusive. Like he had to have seen it coming.
Yeah, but he's a narcissist, so he's not going to admit that.
Pluto plays the victim, says Magic Marmot.
Magic Marmot's right.
So Pluto plays the victim. Is that my caption then? Pluto plays the victim.
Yeah, and he's like sobbing into a hanky, and Raphael is like consoling him, and Philo and Armand are like rolling their eyes.
Yeah, I like that. Yes, Pluto plays the victim. Okay, so that will be my caption, and this is for panel 2. Excellent. So again, I picked the epic music because it feels like we're getting close to an end, and it was an option. And I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Let's have an epic end. And so, yes, we will have fun with this, and see how far we can do this. Okay.
Do you mind if we just put it down just a little bit?
Absolutely. I'm trying to find the nuance here that's like the right.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, it doesn't have to be too low. I mean, I don't mind it. It's just it's a little intense.
Yeah. How's that? Is that too much?
Yeah, this is great. That's a good level. Because we can still hear it. It's still there. It's spurring us on.
Yeah. Again, I'm trying to to, have epic music to push us forward, but not overtake the show. And so, Bluto plays the. I should probably spell victim correctly, right? Victim has 2 eyes in it, correctly? Right? Victim?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what you're going to draw because Kay is drawing what I told you to draw.
That's okay. I can still draw something. Let's see. Bluto plays the victim. But yeah. No, I think I can do this because again, I'm remembering the format with like the DS of people, and so I'm gonna draw like the DS of people because.
You should have some have them going like boo hiss because they were always very vocal in those shows. The crowd.
Let's see. Let me do this so you can kind of see what I'm working on a little bit.
And if it's going to be somewhat Jerry Springer, like he used to always have a couple security guards wandering around in the background, the crowd. If you wanted to add that or not, something I remembered.
Have you ever seen the movie Party Monster?
Of course I have.
Yeah.
I read the book. I've seen the documentary. I've obsessively, compulsively watched video footage of Michael after he's been out of jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't help it.
Yeah, and in interviews when he's like talking about heroin and stuff, you're like, oh, that guy's still addicted to that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's still.
Apparently, it's really easy to get in jail. It's not something like you have to kind of work hard if you want to get clean while you're in jail.
Yeah, well, I mean, I imagine there's a lot of people that like that's why they're in there was for dealing.
There's this amazing show called if I remember correctly, 60 Days In.
Yeah.
Where they get a bunch of random people who have like certain skill sets and they put them in jail. And the whole point was to like kind of have them sort of report on what the COs are doing and stuff. And whether they were actually taking care of the prisoners the way they're supposed to.
Okay. Bluto's been skeletized.
Oh, he's not very skeletal there, is he?
No, he's not. Unless
Santa. He's a Santa Bluto there.
Okay, I'll have to fix it in post-production.
You know what would be funny is if at one point Bluto's like, you don't love me anymore because I lost so much weight and I'm more beautiful. But yeah, so the 60 Days In was really interesting because it was like some people could hack it and some people couldn't. It was interesting to see who bragged a lot, and then of course they couldn't handle it. Muhammad Ali's daughter was one of the first women to go in, and because she works in community and she worked with prisoners on the outside trying to rehabilitate them into society and stuff. So she wanted to see what it was like on the inside. It was a really interesting show. It was really well done.
Earthspace says, I want Robin to tell me more about the best survival skills needed for jail.
Well, the guy that lasted the longest, and they actually asked him to stay for another 6 weeks. It's been a really long time since I watched it. I think they go in for 6 weeks. And then this guy went in for, I think, 3 months or something. Because he was so good at it. He was a former Marine. And they try to give them a really convincing backstory, right? So this guy was like disgruntled and stuff, and he got caught stealing stuff from the military, so he was in jail, stuff like that. It's actually like, it sounds kind of like it would be really easy to fake, but I don't know, you watch it, there's times where I remember there was one guy who used to be like a teacher, and he just like was so clueless, and you're just sitting there going, that dude is gonna get raped or beaten, like they better take him out, like this is bad. You know what I mean? Like it got pretty intense at times. But it was interesting. Like it was a fascinating microcosm, and especially in the women's prison. The women's prison was always very interesting. One girl ended up becoming like a prisoner. Like she's, you're in there and you're not supposed to do anything illegal because you're technically not a criminal, right?
Yeah.
But this one girl, she got really involved with the other women, and she was like doing drugs and drinking and doing like, getting involved in gang fights and stuff in prison. it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, so it's like, sorry, you have to stay here now.
No, she left, and they were just like, she got taken out early because she was getting way too deep in. She had a girlfriend in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to draw Armand in between.
Earth Space is asking me, did you get the Australian show Prisoner Cell Block H in Canada? And not that I'm aware of. I don't know. I'm assuming the people on that show got paid, but it wasn't something they talked about because that wasn't the reason most of them were going in there. Some of them were going in because they had family in prison. They wanted to see what it was like, what they went through. And like I said, some people worked for community outreach programs and wanted to like actually help, and they figured this was a way to do it. One guy used to be a corrections officer, and he was just so jaded and fed up with like the things that were happening around him. He wanted to see what it was like from the other side. And when he got out, he was done. He was like, I'm not going to do this job anymore. He decided to help prisoners.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting how it changes a lot of people. I went in the first season, and then his girlfriend went in the second season. That was different. I don't know what happened to those two.
There is a film festival that they did a month ago that for the first time ever was a film festival from within the prison system of films about the prison system, reviewed by prisoners from within the prison system about the authenticity of, like, from within the system about the system. Like, so people will like make a documentary, right? And they're like, this person's in the system, right? So last month was the first time they ever have this film festival where you have basically, guys on their best behavior and stuff like that have earned this privilege to be able to be part of this film festival, to review these films and say, this film is accurate, this film is not accurate, as to being part of the prison system, right? And so they're able to watch these films and then write up their reviews, and then these films can then say they were part of this film festival, right? And so it's interesting that they were able to do that, and it's the first time that these guys feel like they've had a voice in kind of the film industry for like that authentic take. Because people can say about whatever they want about whatever happens in prison, and you have prisoners all the time, or former prisoners, go, that's not the way things really are, right? Mm-hmm. But now these guys can say, oh, this guy gets it, or this guy's making it up. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, so it was an interesting story. I heard about it on NPR. I should probably go find their story and go link it if I were less lazy.
So I haven't seen Caged Women, but I just looked it up, and apparently Wentworth is kind of loosely based on it. So I know about Wentworth. And of course I watched Orange is the New Black. I'm not like obsessed with women in prison or anything. It's just it's interesting to see, because prison's its own little microcosm, whether you're male or female.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to see how people deal with it. I don't know if I can handle it. Especially when I watch things, like I watched Oz, and oh my god. I watched the first episode of one. I watched an episode and I couldn't handle it. Like really horrific stuff happened. I'm like, I'm not watching this show. But then I started realizing that this show has so many of my favorite actors, and like really good actors from various other TV series.
I really like Chris Maloney in it.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome. But my favorite is BD Wong.
Oh, BD Wong's just good in everything.
Yeah. So, like, I started watching Oz, and I like, there's so many instances where you're just like, it's so unfair, and sort of horrible things happen to good people that turn them into horrible people. It's just so awful.
Yeah.
So it can become a fascinating microcosm, I think, to watch. We've got a psycho killer who's turned around and started blaming his parents all of a sudden. I don't know if you've heard about this.
Which psycho killer?
Paul Bernardo.
Oh, yeah.
He's from my neighborhood, like not where in my city where I live. He's from this area. But anyways, for the longest time, like he would blame all these other people. But now he started blaming his parents, coincidentally, now that they're dead.
Of course. Let's see. Now I gotta remember how to draw a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, I should show you guys this drink. Check it out. It's a Canada Dry Ginger Ale Black Cherry.
Very nice. I'm sorry, you done with your panel, Kay? You gotta let me know, girl. You gotta let me know when you're done with your panel.
No, I wasn't sitting around for long. I was just trying to figure out how I'll be able to make him more skeletal in post-production. But I caught the feeling.
Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to like, you know.
I forgot.
Like,
You're
awful.
Skeletal too.
Yeah.
I love Armand. His eyes are perfect.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch up here. So what happens after Pluto plays the victim? Because this is what's going on in my panel, so you can see on your screen.
Lies.
Yeah.
Raphael is awesome.
Yeah. And again, I'm having like, you know.
Remember she used to carry those little cards in her hands all the time with the microphone?
Yeah. That's right. Here, I gotta put the microphone in this hand, and then I gotta have the cards in this hand.
Yeah. So what's gonna happen next? Well, Raphael has to ask a question. That's his job.
So what question does he ask?
Do you think maybe it's something you did, Bluto?
Hell. Psychos never blame themselves. Psycho killer. So what is it? Yeah. Okay, so that means you're doing panel 3K.
Okay.
And I'm doing panel 4. So what's his question? If he's going to ask a question.
Philo, is it over?
Well, no, it's never a yes or no question. You have to ask an open-ended question for a good interview.
Patrick Marmot has a good one. He says, "Are there any good memories?" Raphael asks Philo, "Are there any good memories?" But that's a yes or no question too.
You're given a choice.
Okay, if you want me to go with that, I can.
Yeah, okay. We can do that. And just your caption at the bottom is just Raphael asks a question, and then do a balloon of are there any good memories?
Memories of the way things used to be.
Okay. And so, what would the thing be? Let's see, not really yes or no, more of Philo thinks, right? So, are we going to do a flashback of good memories, and it's like a montage panel of all the good memories, or are we going to think of a montage panel of all the bad memories?
Well, we've already done the montage of the bad, haven't we?
Yeah, and we did a montage of the good when they met. So, we've done montages.
Wouldn't it be funny if he had memories and then all of a sudden his montage was like Barbra Streisand's memories?
Well, I don't know Barbra Streisand's memories that well. You know.
Me neither. I'm just saying, it would be funny.
Should we introduce a new Popeye character?
Well, we do have Ratchet Oil, and we've hardly used her.
Let's utilize her.
What
if she bursts in?
Well, I kind of want to answer this question, and what I was thinking of is Philo thinks, because that was a suggestion from Magic Marmot, and what he thinks about is blanks, because he's trying to think of all the good times and there aren't any.
He has an empty thought balloon.
Yeah, like
one of those like pop because there's nothing in there.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking of. Is Philo thinks, and then what he thinks of is he can't think of anything, you know?
I keep thinking about the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, where they erase their memories.
Well, yeah, but the tragedy in that is that they keep rediscovering each other and doing it again and again.
Is that really tragic?
If you're doing brain damage to yourself over and over again.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
You know, and here's the other thing, okay? Kirsten Dunst's character didn't know that it had been done to her because Elijah's Wood character had it done to her without her consent. That's messed up.
That is. Brain rape!
Let's see. Philo never would have fallen in love with Pluto. There were good times. Let's see. Bald Streamer. If there weren't good times.
That's a valid point, Magic Marmot.
Yeah. Let's see. So Philo thinks, and I'm thinking like he has to like do this. No bald streamers. I don't know. You can try and be that guy, but you're not gonna get very far here. Yeah. I'm gonna have like Philo think. He's gonna be like, You know, we gotta give him like a thinky face. And what I should be doing is I should be putting Kay into the big panel because she's drawing way more than I am. So we'll have Philo here thinking, and then thought bubble, thought bubble, thought bubble, thought. And I'm just gonna have like these blank spaces. Let's see. Philo has to have a point of redemption in his character arc, that culmination in Philo's choice to stay with Armand. Like I'm thinking like maybe there's Bluto and Philo up here happy, right? And so they got that.
Maybe
right?
they bonded through shared trauma, and that's why it's like they don't really have anything in common.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it so that like they have like here's a good memory, but I think I'm gonna like fade the Philo memories. You know, like as he's like going like yeah, there's some, but there's like not a lot, you know. I don't know. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking. Something like that. And then there's like these blank spaces. Let's see. And then oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't even do shading on my first panel. And then neither did you either.
To continue.
Yeah, and let me know when you're done with that panel, so.
Just about.
We'll do this. Yeah, see, he's thinking. Yeah, usually I've been doing shading lately, but for some reason Kay's been drawing so fast tonight. Oh no, I lost Robin. Robin! There you are.
I'm still
Sorry. Philo represents the consumer of the story. He's the physical embodiment of the self in the story. Let's see, yeah, we'll do this.
Okay, I have to depart for a minute. I'm gonna go get my caffeine.
You are allowed to depart for such reasons as they are very important.
That's our books.
Yeah. Oh, the protagonist. Yes.
No.
And then I will draw him happy here. And my Bluto's getting kind of good, actually. I've been drawing him so much.
Woo.
Let's see. You want the reader consumer to have the emotional attachment to the character. Yes, what they call that in literature is the access character, Magic Marmot. Let's see, and then what I'll do is I'll just do like a
No.
little silhouette of them there. Yeah, I really should be putting in more shadows because it makes it look finished. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking things.
Here's a question I always wondered. Magic Marmot has a good point about how the reader should have an emotional attachment to the character.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my movies that I always thought this was a good example of was Glory.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that movie. I didn't care anything about any of those characters because they didn't spend any time really getting to know the characters.
Yeah.
So when all the tragedy happened, I wasn't involved. So it really helps to have an emotional attachment to the character.
There's ways.
Okay.
There's ways of doing that. Are you done with your panel, Kay?
Yes, I am.
Okay, awesome. So you're on panel 5. I'm on panel 6.
Okay.
All right. So let me make my panel 6.
See,
So
your idea is what Phil Donahue would say. We're going with Sally Jessa Raphael, and she asks questions. She doesn't demand.
oh, what? A little late, but an open-ended version of the question would be: Philo, tell me about the good memories. A little leading, but open-ended. I suppose that's true. Okay, so after, let's see. Let me put me in the big panel so Kay can see what's going on. Philo thinks, right? So there are some good memories, right? There are some good memories, but he can't think of many. Is kind of what I came up with. So does he answer the question? Does he, like, what happens from there? Are we just gonna have Ratchet Oil burst in
Magic Marmot's idea of what if we see Bluto's good memories instead, because he's the delusional one.
Would his good memories be of beating Philo?
To beating Philo? I don't think so. I think he'll have all these crazy delusional thoughts, like,
Well,
He
don't
went to
forget,
the hotel by the airport, which was really depressing in actuality, but he sees it like this romantic getaway where nobody knew where they were. It was so romantic.
well, it's like, yeah, Magic Marmot is saying, what if Buddha also thinks about his good memories, not instead next panel where he had power, right? Yeah, like that's what's good to him, right? Like he has Philo locked in a closet because he knows where Philo is, and Philo's not going to get away and cheat on him, and that makes Pluto feel good.
Okay.
How about the time he had Philo in a dog collar with a leash?
Yeah, and humiliated Philo, right?
Yeah.
That's not a good memory for Philo.
Not
but
a
it's
good
great
memory.
one for Pluto.
Yeah.
Right? That's the kind of stuff that we got to think of from his delusional mind
Mm-hmm.
of what would excite him about his relationship with Philo, right? And so Kay, do you want to draw that panel?
Yeah, I could. Let's say.
So I think your caption would be Pluto thinks. And then maybe a similar motif to what I did. But maybe it's like all full of like these awful things. I don't know. I'm listening to an audiobook right now called Housekeeper, and looking in a closet locking in the closet is a pretty main theme. Armand thinks. Oh, I can do an Armand thinks. Because he's on the stage too.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So I can do that. So, and our epic music is still remaining very epic.
Epicy.
If it gets annoying, let me know and I can change it.
It's okay.
Yeah, because it's like Danny Elfman like intensity all the time.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, making Christmas, definitely, right? Okay.
So is it cold in Denver?
It's been I'm trying to think of Canadian numbers. It's been in the 20s.
The
Down
negatives?
here. No positives.
Oh,
Yeah, so not too bad.
we've been like negative 13 the last couple of days.
Yeah,
Been
but
chilly.
I mean, but you are in Canadian country.
Yes, that's why I'm bundled up.
I've been going Armand with an O-N-D.
Like an arm?
But okay, this is the way the spelling goes for Philo. In the moment, willy-nilly, I am not caring as much about the spelling and what is posted on the website in those pages, okay? When I make the pages for print is when I go through and that's when I finalize all the spelling and make sure that it is formatted correctly and everything is like in agreement with itself. And so like right now, don't worry about it.
Dog doing?
We could do the dog thinks. Yeah, because the dog is there. The dog was eating bones, was eating skeletons. That was where we left the dog.
Which, is he on stage?
We could have the dog on stage. It's just where we left him was eating skeletons.
It'd be great. It's too bad it's not like real, because then we would like have him come on stage like he was like one of those like surprise guests.
I mean, we could still do that. We could still say surprise guest and it's the dog. You know, it's like we are still within the realm of possibility because now we're suddenly on a talk show. Consistent. Yes. Magic Marmot, thank you. That is the word I was looking for and I could not reach. Though my tongue was here and there was a tip and they were touching and it was on the tip of the tongue, but I could not reach it. Dog thinks of bones, then he sees Bluto. Let's see. So I'm trying to figure out what Armand's happy memories are.
Do you know how many marrow bones I sell in a day at work?
Oh, I'm sure.
Big honking bones that are like this big. And this. But it's cool because then I get to talk about their dogs.
Yeah.
It's like 1 out of 9 marrow bones I sell it are actually for humans to make soup. The rest are all for dogs.
That's an
Magic
interesting
Marmot would be my
statistic.
1 human out of 9 people. The 1 human making it for human soup.
No, he would probably get it for his dogs.
He just said he's making bone broth right now.
Yes, but he also has 2 dogs.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so it would be a 9 out of 10 visits thing, where like 9 of his visits will be getting marrow bones for his dogs, and then that 10th visit will be for his bone broth. Yeah, so because Magic Marmot and I know each other very well, and I know that he loves his dogs enough to get him marrow bones. And so yes, so what I'm thinking would be a happy
Sometimes
memory.
people come in and they get deli meat. And I have to like shave it, and then they want it shaved because they give it to their dog.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking what would be a happy memory for Armand would be them in the stomach realm and when he met Philo for the first time. And so
But that wasn't in the stomach realm that they met.
yes, it was, because he was the bartender.
Oh, I thought it was sooner than that.
No, that was the first time we ever saw Armand, was in the stomach
All right.
realm.
In the stomach realm.
Yeah. And so,
I-
yeah.
My absurd sense of humor kind of wants him to be thinking about something completely different. Has nothing to do with Philo. He's dreaming of that one lover he had a million years ago. His octopus lover.
You would do Philo wrong like that?
Yeah. No, I just like absurd stuff.
Well, I mean, I like absurd stuff too, but at the same time, like Philo's just had a really bad time with Bluto in this long relationship, and then you would have it where Armand thinks and he's not even thinking about Philo. Like, he just had Philo leave this long
Some people
relationship.
are like that. Maybe Armand's a player.
Well, I think, no, I'm gonna draw the fireplace. Okay, we're gonna draw. We're doing a little recap here. Yeah, doing a little recap. Okay. Let me know when you're done with your panel.
Okay.
So, Magic Marmot thinks one of the memories should be hugging Philo. It should be that one where they're like staring into each other's eyes.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna have the fireplace, and I'll do a tentacle and a heart, and then yeah, like Philo and Armand looking lovingly into each other's eyes when he caught Philo for the first time. For the last time.
Hey, Magic Marmot, you know what's really cool if you want to see an octopus hug? Is you can watch video of octopuses having sex, and it's just like a ballet, a dance underwater. It's really pretty.
So, okay, so you said you were done, correct, Kay?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so I'm
You like?
on panel 6. That means that you're on panel 7, correct?
Okay. All right, let's see what you got.
Did you put him in a saw device?
It's a dog collar. Oh, I forgot the
Oh,
leash.
gag.
But I did have a gag in. He's got a gag ball in.
Okay.
Not too good.
I like that his antennae are so wilted.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey, where does Armand speak from? He should hold a mic there when it's his turn to speak.
No, have it be like a boom mic over his head. Well, the octopus mouth is on the undercarriage of their body.
So, I've been watching The Boys.
Yeah.
And I finished with season 3. So I finished with the season where the Deep has his relationship with an octopus.
Yeah, you can't go too deep into it because I'm only halfway through 3.
Well, yeah, I'm not going that deep into it. I'm just saying that I was thinking about it. And with the beak of an octopus, I would not make that gamble if I were the Deep.
Yeah, that's a scary ass beak, man.
Yeah. That's all that was all my commentary, was just he has a relationship with an octopus and I would not make that decision.
Yeah, I think the last episode I saw is when his fake wife left him.
Yeah, I actually I just finished the last episode of season 3 like yesterday. So you and I aren't that far from each other. We could have like a book club about it.
The boys book club.
Yeah.
I love Garth Ennis so much. He's the bestest.
Let's see. By the way, we are at 7:50, so we have 40 minutes left.
Oh, Magic Marmot, you're missing so much. The season 2 is really good. I really liked season 2 a lot.
Yeah, I thought Stormfront was an interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
She, because she, I don't want to give away spoilers, but she's an interesting character.
I just like how she encompassed a lot of past history, but also managed to maintain like a really modern current history within the story.
Yeah.
It's well done. It's really well done. The series is really well done. And the acting is excellent.
Yeah. The actor that plays Homelander, I know he's a good actor because I hate Homelander.
Yeah. It's the Cersei Lannister school of acting. You know it's good because you just want to kill them yourself.
But like the thing is I've seen him in like interviews when he's just himself.
Yeah,
and
really
he's
charming.
so goofy. He's so goofy that it's like you can't help but love the guy.
Yeah, he's super charming.
Yeah, and then you see him as Homelander, and you're like, "Ooh, I hate you. Ooh,
yeah,
you're so you evil. Narcissistic pig. Ooh, you fascist." And it's like, but I cognitively know he is just a good actor playing a great villain. And so I'm trying to leave it at that. And then Soldier Boy is an interesting character.
Yeah, people were so psyched when they heard that actor was going to play that character. All the Supernatural nerds.
Oh, yeah. I never watched Supernatural.
I haven't either,
actually.
I mean, I plan to, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
When I'm on a long creative run where I need something in the background, that's going to be one of those like in the background shows.
Mm-hmm. They made fun of it in Grimm though. I thought that was really funny.
So I'm drawing the dog.
Yeah,
you're doing the dog thinks.
Oh, okay.
He's just drooling over bones. Doesn't even know where to bury the bones.
I think that's where probably we're going to take it.
Yeah.
Adding the bones to his giant bone stash.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you?
Staring longingly at the bones.
Yeah, he's not even thinking about the mushrooms. He's not even thinking about like all the shit that he's just been through. All he cares about is the bones, like the last 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you gotta remember, he's a simple guy. He was like the very first time we met him, all he wanted was some pasta.
Oh, Philo giving him treats. That's what Magic Marmot says. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
A bone.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so I'm trying to do this. We're doing kind of a recap here, I guess. Philo. Like,
Can
oh,
I ask a
Armand.
question about websites?
Hmm?
Can I ask a question about websites?
I might have a question about websites or an answer about websites.
Right, so like, I have my website, right? And it's through WordPress. And
Well,
I've
you
got my
said that
friend-
you're switching to Wix.
What?
You said that you were switching to Wix.
Yeah, and I've got a friend that like hosts my WordPress site.
Yes.
Would it be easy to like just switch from Wix to WordPress? Is it possible?
Okay, so when you say switch from Wix to WordPress, do you mean and have it
sorry,
continue?
like I'm redoing the whole thing, like I'm redoing everything on Wix. And
Yeah.
so like, is it possible just to crash one and put the other one in to his where he's hosting?
So, okay. So Wix is currently hosting the site that you are building.
Yeah.
Okay. Your friend is currently hosting the site that your WordPress site is built on. When you are done with your Wix site, all you have to do is go to where you are registered with your URL. And all you have to do is point it from your friend's old hosting to your Wix hosting. Okay.
But see, the thing is I'm paying my friend, so
Well, then,
I was wondering if there was a way to like have the Wix on him, have him the Wix site.
I don't know Wix as well as I know WordPress. And so I don't know if Wix is like WordPress where it's open source and you know, they offer, here's the package for you to be able to do it on your own site, or we have our own site that we can host it, or if Wix is doing it where we host it on our site. I don't know what Wix's business model is, so it's hard for me to answer that question.
All right. Yeah, no, I just thought I'd ask, something I'm learning about.
Yeah, it's the A record, says Magic Marmot, but
I don't know what that means.
that's the thing that you have to change, you know, of where you want it to look at. You know, if you're paying your friend, then like my whole thing is either stop paying your friend because you're also paying for Wix site, right? So
No,
why
I haven't paid yet because with Wix you don't have to pay until you actually publish something, right?
Again, I don't know their business model. It's hard for me to answer that question.
Yeah, like there's nothing online, there's nothing published. I'm just like building it behind the scenes.
Again, I don't know their business model. It's hard for me to answer that question. I'm sorry that's
No, it's
like
okay. I was just doing it's like
a hard
since I'm just learning.
Yeah, I know it's a hard answer, but I mean, I could help you with WordPress because that's what I've used for the last 20 years. But I haven't used Wix, so I can't, you know, it's a tool I haven't used.
Yeah,
so,
no, I get it.
Yeah.
I like your dog, Kay, and Skellabluto.
I like the
that should be a band name, Skellabluto Bones.
Mm-hmm.
The Skellabluto Bone Daddies.
Mm-hmm.
Not even daddies, just Skellabluto Bones. Skellabluto Bones.
The texture on Armand is excellent.
Thank you. I'm trying. And now let me add some shading and pretend like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's, again, I don't know, like, the Wix stuff. I'd be willing to look at it for you, but it's
cool.
going to take me a minute.
Talk to my guy. It's just it can be a little difficult sometimes, so I wanted to get a bit more information before I went to him.
Yeah, if you're paying for the space, then the guy should be your contact for stuff like that because you.
Oh
you
yeah,
should be
I am
paying
gonna
for
ask
that.
him. It's just that I wanted to come to him with some kind of knowledge of what I'm
Yeah.
asking him.
Yeah. Versus like, I don't know what I'm asking.
Yeah, just pretend I'm a 3-year-old. I know nothing.
Well, that's me usually. Is like pretend I'm a 3-year-old. I know nothing. Like, I don't know, like, or I'll sit and like be reading profusely about something and like, do I understand this? Am I understanding this? Am I getting this? You know, like, yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Are you done with your panel, Kay?
Just about.
Okay, let me know when you're heading there, because I'm almost done with mine, and I'm behind you. So I have to like jump in front of you so that you can do the one behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I've been taking time working on Armand's.
He looks awesome. Don't apologize.
All right, so
I hate like when they do the Japanese octopuses where they have the little kissy mouth and the eyes don't like that. Those eyes are awesome. That's a perfect octopus look with a big old head. That's how they should look.
Okay, so that was panel 7. This is panel 8, right?
Oh, hey, can I share something with you that I read the other day that made me laugh? That
Oh,
has
what's that?
to do with your country.
What's that?
Okay,
Well,
so
I mean, much about my country is funny.
you know how Trump is all like, Canadians are letting in too much fentanyl and immigrants. They gotta shut down their borders, or we're gonna slap tariffs on everything.
That's because they want to trap us here. They don't want us to get out.
Okay, but my point is this: it would be really detrimental to our economy if he slapped tariffs on a bunch of Canadian stuff that we ship to you guys.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that I didn't realize, and one thing that the Ontario government has pointed out, is we supply energy to like 1.5 million of you guys.
Yeah, power.
So that's how we're going to retaliate if the tariffs come into effect.
The grids, okay, the way that the grids work is like Canada's grid like feeds a good portion of the Northeast.
Mm-hmm.
And then Texas has its own separate grid away from like everything else. But the Texas grid can't even supply its own damn power. So
No.
like they get power from like the other grids in the country. And it's so fucked up. Our power grid system is so messed up. And so yeah, no, I knew that like when he announced that, I'm like, this is so and of course announced it, and of course stop sending you power. Like, you're dumb. And yeah, no, like Kay and I are stuck here, Robin.
Yeah, you can't escape.
This is why I'm gonna lose the sanity of a puppet to keep my own sanity. I'm gonna lose the sanity of a puppet.
A sacrificial puppet.
A sacrificial puppet sanity. Yes, I am going.
The puppet that died for your sanity.
I am lining up my book list of Hegel and Marx and Camus and Nietzsche and like Machiavelli and Sun Tzu and all of these people, and I'm going to read them all for the puppet's mind. And it's going to be his political philosophy of like all these things, and he's going to come up with them like it's his idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens after the dog is thinking of Skelebanes? Hi, Tangent. Nom 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 bones.
Num 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 bones.
Yeah. So what happens after Skelebanes? After the dog thinks of Skelebanes? Because that was a pretty wide tangent there that we went on.
I liked it though.
Yes, it was worth it.
That appeased the absurdist in me. I am a
Bluto bones. Yeah.
Yes, of
Not
the
just
Bluto
any
bones.
bones.
Yes, of the skull of Bluto bones at that. So okay, so we had everybody think of their happy memories.
So what about surprise guest Armand's former lover shows up? One of Armand's former, and that's olive oil.
Whoa.
Now, is it Ratchet olive oil?
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's the incarnation she's in now.
Okay, so
Okay.
that would be my panel.
Oh, food.
Okay, so that would be my panel because mine's next. So that would be special
Surprise guest, not special.
surprise.
That's a good one.
Yeah, surprise guest. Let's see. Tangent
Armand's
says, not curious,
ex-lover.
Are the bones radioactive? They are plutonian bones. But let's see. I want to do a hybrid off-grid power and household solar, wind, whatever, to help protect us from grid loss. Nice. Okay.
I saw this house in California that like it collected rainwater, and then they used the rainwater for showers, and then that water that left over from the showers was used to like wash dishes, and then that water after wash dishes would water all the plants in the house, and like it was this whole cyclical thing. It was really impressive.
Okay, so surprise guest, Armand's past lover, Nurse Ratchet Oil. And then, so what would Kay's panel be after Nurse Ratchet Oil shows up?
Well, is Philo upset, or is Philo got the confidence to be okay with it?
Well, okay. So,
How about if Philo escapes the show? He just is like, this is crazy, and he just walks out.
wait, they are washing dishes in the shower water or vice versa?
They're washing dishes in the shower water, but it's all been filtered. Each time it goes through, it gets filtered.
Let's see. I'll have them here. And then what we have to do is we have to put Raphael's face up on.
Philo could pull the power plug on the show.
Well, why is Philo?
And the TV shuts off. That's the end of the show.
Well, okay. Wait. We have to think about the Philo verse for a second.
Mm-hmm.
We have several Philos, which we haven't acknowledged in a long time. We have a past panel of Olive Oil and Bluto having revenge porn sex. That could be part of this, right? We have multiple Blutos, skull Blutos that I guess the dog decimated.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I think this is what you guys should do. I think you should do one giant panel that's like Billy from Family Circus when he goes all over the place, but it's like the Philoverse, and one person does one half of it and the other person does the other half of it. And then together it makes a big picture.
You're asking a lot.
Right, just an idea.
I know, but
You can spitball with me and come up with something simpler.
I'm trying, but again,
I like the idea of seeing like those little dashes of people, and it explains like what's happening to all the other Philos. Well, here they are at this part of the map, doing their thing.
So it would be a meanwhile, all the other Philos are out Philoing around.
What if all the other Philos were on the Raphael show?
Well, they could enter. They could be in the audience.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really draw an audience. I kind of hinted.
They could come in at that point.
I kind of hinted at an audience. I just kind of drew, like, just kind of forms. I guess I can give them antenna.
That next picture looks like a rave.
What, this one?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, I'm trying to draw her coming out, and she has her inky powers.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, ah. I don't know. But what happens after she comes out? Come on. Like, do the, like,
to a guy on a piano going dun dun dun.
It could be a big censored sign because you really can't show her great memories with Pluto.
Well, I mean, that's true.
Not really.
Uh,
That'd be cheating.
Nurse Ratchet Oil thinks black censor bars.
let's see.
Could it be
Earth Trace agrees
Olive?
with me.
How about Olive Ratchet Oil back in her days as a pole dancer?
Why is she a pole dancer now?
Because
She's
she
got
was a
inky
pole.
powers. You can slink around poles.
Yeah, I mean, but we've already had her like established
pretty
as a
far.
nurse at the Blutorium. You
Um,
know, that's yeah.
Nurse by day, go
Guys
go
putting
dancer by night.
dollars in her thong and it just falls right out.
Well, I mean, okay, so we destroyed most of the Blutos. Are we gonna? We still have a mushroom
True.
army we can have just burst in.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know, we have
Mushrooms rappelling from the ceiling.
yeah, we could do that. But I mean, like, we could do that if we just wanted to have like the revolution
Ninja
burst
mushrooms rappelling from the ceiling.
Hey, have you guys seen the mushroom music yet?
Nope, afraid not.
No? Oh my god. So they've been hooking up like speakers and microphones and things to mushrooms,
Oh,
and their electromagnetic pulse is making music.
in. That's cool. That's cool. Awesome.
It is really cool.
perhaps they cut to the mushroom music band.
It's a mushroom music rave at the Raphael show.
Maybe.
I don't know, Magic Marmot. I think chaos is what's going on.
Yeah, they also do music from the planets, he says.
From the planets? What does that mean? They just hook it into Earth?
Oh, wait. I have case panel.
Okay.
Raphael asks, what do you all have to say to each other?
That's good. That's what she used to say. I
Yeah.
think she used to say that.
You know, is like, you know, it's like, what do you, yeah, because she wanted them to confront each other for the good of television. And I think, you know, what do you all have to say to each other, you know, because then that forces us to have our characters confront each other.
Sounds scary. I'm a little scared.
Try. Let's see. They also do music from the planet Saturn and Jupiter. Yes. Yeah. I wonder if it sounds like this epic music.
I was watching Pee-wee's Playhouse with my nephew and I started crying again.
Yeah, I read that.
Oh, because
Oh.
of Paul Rubens.
I can't believe how devastated I still am about his death.
I
What's your
think
steps?
I would cry more for Phil Hartman on that one.
I mean, I respect and admire him. My brother loved news radio and loves Phil Hartman. And I'm not saying that Phil Hartman is not talented because he co-wrote most of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Like,
Oh, he did. Yeah.
yeah, no, I know who he is and I respect him immensely. But I just like,
I also liked his writing on SNL.
oh, fuck
I-
him.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Paul Rubens is just like, he made it okay to be weird. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch his. It was before the Pee Wee Herman show, but the character would show up on one of the late night shows. David Letterman.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I could, it was Pee Wee doing his adult comedy routine, and the themes were quite adult. And I was thinking, and then about 3 months later, it's like, yeah, I've got a kids show, and I'm thinking, you do?
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's
okay.
kind of messed up. And then
I
when
know
you
where
watch
your
the
mind
show,
goes.
It's really, 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 really gay. Like,
Yeah.
this is Holy cow! That's an
He
adult.
pulled out one of those little rubber dolls with the squeeze out rubber boobies. Squeaky, squeaky. And instead of, smiling, Pee-wee's character looks absolutely horrified.
Yeah.
Like something
Yeah,
with
but
tentacles.
there was an innocence to Pee-wee's character, right? Because
was
the thing
hilarious.
okay, so Paul Rubin's character knew the gag. Like Paul Rubin, as the writer, as the actor, knew the gag was this is a sexual thing, and it's funny to bring it out and as a prop to play with it, right? But the character Pee-wee doesn't think sexually. Right? So you bring it out and it's like, oh, I'm faced with this thing. This makes me embarrassed. Right? And so you play with that as an actor, and that was the brilliance of Pee-wee's character. Yeah. So that's why the kids show worked, is because it's that innocence without having to play off of the sexual stuff. It's just simply the innocence. Yeah. So it was good. It was good stuff.
I used to get to play it all the time when I taught daycare, because in one of the daycares I worked at, they would show a video in between, like just before lunch, after coming in from outside, and just before lunch, because it gave us time to set up for lunch. So I got to brainwash the kids with Pee-wee. It was awesome.
Nice. Very good stuff.
It was on VHS. We had the VHS still playing, and that was like 2010 to 2012. We're still
Good
using
times.
VHS.
Do this. Okay. So let me do that, and then I'll do some gray to help kind of balance it a little bit.
I don't think I could watch those kind of shows anymore. I would just start getting angry, because when I've rewatched some of them, like the ones where they have the club kids and stuff on there, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's so ignorant just to get a rise out of people for television. It just makes me upset.
Well, it's interesting because, there's YouTube channels and stuff that have, like, here is 4 hours of afternoon television from Cincinnati, 1994, right? And so you can go to these YouTube channels and they have the commercials, they have the shows, they have like the news, they have everything, right? And because it's just somebody's VHS tape that they had in, and they decided to just upload it to YouTube. And it's fascinating stuff to like literally go back in time in television and like see what it was like in 1994 and stuff. But like, it was exploitive and it wasn't exploitive, because we remember, Jerry, we remember the fighting, we remember that, but that was Jerry Springer pushing the limits, right? A lot of those shows was people really talking to each other, and it was like the first time that people in the Midwest would see like, transvestites, right? Or would see goth people, or would see people who were polyamorous, right? Talking about the fact that, yes, we have an open relationship, and, I happen to be bisexual, and this is my girlfriend, and this is my husband, right? And so you would have people in like Wisconsin going, what? There's relationships like that? Because this is before the internet, right? And so it allowed for a space for people to be able to talk about that stuff before it was like okay to talk about that stuff, and it was considered sensationalism in its day, but by today's standard, it's very tame. Yeah. More like Philip Glass on drugs. Jerry Springer is a very interesting character. He had a political career first. Yeah, and don't forget, he was also a lawyer. Yeah. He was also a lawyer.
Yeah, I was around during that time. I was watching TV.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to get all preachy and stuff. I just, I decided to do that where it's like, oh, let me sit down and watch this 4 hours of TV from, 1994. And it was like, what the hell? Like, it was so different than what I remembered, right? What I remembered it being you think of like, oh, it's all violence and this and that, but it's like now it's all violence and this and that, right? What it was then was a lot tamer.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Well,
just
I'm with this woman on TikTok. She's watched her a few times now. She's been only playing old musicals from the 40s and 50s to her daughters because she's just like finding it's less chaotic in their house now, that there's not all this overstimulation from all these modern cartoons and movies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of did that with Annabelle too. She got some YouTube time, but she also, like, we picked stuff like Tom and Jerry for her to watch, right? She's not always watching the modern stuff. We got 15 minutes to go. How are we doing on your panel, Kay?
Oh, fine. Fine.
Okay. Let's see. So you're doing, what do you have to say to each other? So then it's my panel, which is panel 10.
I think something explosive should happen, like somebody should lunge for somebody else. Like Armand can't stand Bluto's posturing anymore and goes after him, or you know what I mean? Like something explosive should happen, like a Jerry Springer show. Or Raphael thinks they're all idiots and he just smacks them all silly. Or Philo has the dog with him and they say, "We're going off on another adventure. There's my ship. I'm out of here." Come on, Armand.
I don't know. What do they say to each other? Do they have anything to say to each other? What do you all have to say to each other?
Well,
right?
To me, I always think about motivation, and like Bluto's motivation is to look as good as possible. So
I think he would want to run off with ratchet oil to make it look like, I'm meant to do this.
I never wanted you to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, she was the first one he went to.
You can't fire me, I quit.
Yeah. Kind of thing, but I think he would run off with that, and then Armand, and it's like, I don't even need you. I don't even want you. Kind of thinking, I don't know. Part of me almost wants to just chit chat for the last 10 minutes because I'm tired. But I can do a panel in 10 minutes. I could do it. Mutant Fox says that's exactly what someone like Bluto would do. Jerry Springer is a very interesting character. Okay. Chit chat is fine, says Magic Marmot. And that is a perfect ending for the episode because it leaves us with a good start to the next episode of what do you all have to say to each other. That's a perfect start to the next episode.
Nothing to say.
Yeah, I have nothing to say to you. I'd like to see Philo make a decision, says Magic Marmot.
We could discuss that now. It doesn't hurt to discuss it.
Well, I mean, I thought Philo made the decision to leave Bluto.
Yeah, well, but then, Armand kind of spirited him away a bit, too.
Yeah.
Whisked him away.
But he did take the rocket ship and crash it into the Blutorium and then turn it into a dog mech and then destroy the Blutos.
I think we should at some point see Armand and Bluto go on vacation, or not Bluto, Armand and Philo go on vacation together. Like in Greece, just having a really nice time together.
Magic Marmot says explicitly say to Raphael that it's over.
So that's what Raphael should say to them. Philo, you need to take a stand here and now. If Bluto is as bad as you say he is, tell him it's over.
And tell him it's over. You need to draw a line in the sand. And Philo,
stand up for yourself, Philo.
I mean, Philo does need to stand up for himself.
Here, how about that?
Yeah.
Perfect, Kay.
Tell him it's over. Yeah, perfect. Awesome.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna do the artist sneaky and probably touch up my panels too a little bit before building the page. I did not get the page up on the website like I usually do before the episode. I was very busy this week. I got my daughter enrolled in preschool. She had
Congratulations! That's not
yeah, she had a dentist appointment this week. She has 4 cavities, so I had to set up an appointment where she's going to get put out and get those repaired with crowns. And then she had her vaccinations this week, so she's all caught up with that.
You've been busy.
Yeah, I had a very busy week, so I didn't get much filing done this week.
So in Canada, they did this thing where everyone's really okay, so you know how you guys have like your rednecks that voted for Trump? We've got our own version, and they all think that our current prime minister should be kicked out. Like, he should step down. But the alternatives are way worse, and they're not thinking, they're just reacting. So one of the things Trudeau's doing to kind of like win people over is he's getting rid of the GST and all the sales tax that we pay for goods and services and stuff. He's getting rid of it until February. So like on children's clothes and prepared food and like all this stuff.
But doesn't that pay for things like your guys' healthcare and roads?
No, not necessarily. It pays for a lot of stuff, but anyways, he's just trying to curry favor. And it's actually quite helpful for parents because it affects a lot of stuff that parents would buy. And it's kind of like also, you know, to help with presents and stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, the thing, I came into work today and I was like, so how is this going to work? Nobody's talked to me about this. Am I going to have to do this myself, or are they going to program it into the till, or da-da-da-da-da? I was like, okay, I'm just going to ask whoever's first cash today.
Yeah.
I go and I check on the board and I'm first cash. I was like, oh, I don't know the answer.
So what was the answer? How'd you figure
My
it out?
boss had already gotten some computer nerd in to program it into our tills. So
good.
You don't have to do anything. But he doesn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Like my other boss, he's like this young guy. He didn't even know what was happening. And I'm like, dude, it's been in the news for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't even pay attention to the news and I knew what was going on. But anyway,
it's like you should probably pay attention to what's going on in your country.
Yeah. It's a big deal. Like, it's like the whole country isn't paying the sales tax. It's huge.
Yeah. It's I don't even know what's going to happen down south here. It's crazy. The guy that they're putting in charge of the health department wants to retract the polio vaccine. The polio vaccine, Robin.
Yeah, God.
The polio vaccine.
What my dad had.
He had to walk it his whole life.
Yeah, Magic Marmot says it's kind of awesome. None of us know. And what he means by awesome is not in a good way, but as in awe-striking.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're
following it up here too. See, that's the thing. Like, we have a conservative guy named Polivier. He's like a French-Canadian guy. And I had just like, Canada's so reactionary. We're going to vote him in. It's going to be awful.
Yeah. Yeah, Elon will probably start the calling of the herd. Yeah, Elon is it has such control over Donald Trump's shit because of how much money he donated to the guy, that he created the Department of Government Efficiency, aka DOGE. So it's the DOGE department. And it's going to be run by Elon Musk and one other person so that they can literally efficientize the government, which is
that's worked for all his other businesses.
Yeah, which is cutting jobs, cutting programs, cutting the shit that the government like does, which is govern. Right? You know, yeah. This is
it was bad the first time around too, because he was like, the people he put in charge of things were so compromised and had no idea about what they were supposed to be doing, not paying attention to the handover information. Like,
I will refer to what is coming as the Muskaning. The Muskaning is coming.
Good.
Because the Muskaning has happened to many a company that he has purchased. The Muskaning happened to Twitter.
Yeah, no, I know.
All right, and I wrote about the Muskaning on my Substack.
about what happened to Twitter, and yes, and why you should not advertise or have a Twitter or use that platform anymore, and it's like it's dead. And so yes, that is my feeling on that. All they can do is suggest Congress has to approve. Tangent says, so we're going to have a bunch of people entering the job market, and corporations who are no longer being governed will start laying off a lot of people, so we will see a huge amount of unemployment. Oh, and they will cut the unemployment programs. I kind of want to start a fictitious pub called the Gated Rat. And then elongated muskrat. Or elongated muskrat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's yeah. So that's where we're at down here.
I'm on this Reddit group. It's called Gen X Women, and basically they're all just like, start freaking planting gardens, guys. Just do everything you can so you don't need to rely on anything.
But here's the thing, okay? In order to plant a garden, you have to have land.
Yeah.
Most people rent, okay? And don't have land to plant a garden.
Yeah, no.
Right? And there are things called grocery deserts in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so you have whole swaths of like low income areas where there aren't grocery stores for people to like buy like food.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only places for them to buy food are like the dollar store, and so they only have access to like processed food.
Yeah, really bad food.
Yeah. And so they call this a grocery desert, and they're spreading across the United States, and of course in the low income areas.
Yeah.
So the high income areas still have access to fresh fruits and vegetables and other like groceries like fresh meats, produce, other types of things like breads and stuff like that. But the grocery deserts, it's like it's shelves and shelves and shelves of like crackers and like canned soups and shit.
Yeah, I've been in dollar stores.
Yeah.
Airspace said the show got a lot less funny.
Yeah, I'm sorry. On that note, it is 8:30, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, but Robin started it.
It's all my fault.
Yeah, Robin started it.
I live up here in wacky Canada land where everything is
where you're like, I want to talk about Canadian politics and how like less terrible they are than yours.
Oh, it's not any that much better up here.
Yeah.
Wait for it.
Yeah.
This guy Ford I was talking about, one of the things that he pisses me off about him, because so I work with all these teenagers, right? They're all these like really young kids, and one of them was telling me at her high school, this kid took a bunch of photos of his female classmates, then got AI to build their bodies naked, and then made a movie with them doing stuff naked, and he got caught. Like all
school
classmates saw it, and the parents did nothing, the school did nothing because he's suicidal. I was like, this is awful. This is like cyber terrorism. This is sexual assault. Like, and I think this poor guy that I was telling you about, he's like the premier of Ontario. When he got elected last time, he changed all the sex education programs to revert back to the 90s programming, before all the trends, before all the discussions about like online bullying and sexual like grooming and all that stuff. So like this guy's not any better. Like he's freaking people. Some of the government.
Okay, so much love and compassion. Okay, a lot of substance is good with all the junk. Oh, and it's going to get better, worse, because Trump is going to gather up all the illegals and throw them out and block migrants from coming in. So we will have no one to pick crops. So crops will rot on the vines and food prices will soar. And the only solution is slave labor by arresting people and forcing them to work fields. Gosh, thanks for making us, feel really happy about the situation. Have a good night, everyone. And it's only a soul if you get caught, says Magic Marmot. No, that's oh my gosh. Yes, let's end on a happy note, and we will be back for episode 48 next week. And and
it's almost Christmas.
It's almost Christmas. I have Jeremy Fiscaldo as our guest next week. And so next week we are going to have a more PG-13 show than this week, because that is the request of Jeremy Fiscaldo to have less of a NC-17 show. And so I'm going to honor that next week. So I want to say to my guests, thank you very much, Miss K, for joining us and for filling in last minute when my artist had to cancel on me for work reasons.
Thanks,
yeah, I don't hate my artists. I appreciate you and for coming in and being in for the long haul with Philo, like from the beginning. And thank you, Miss K. I always appreciate you. All right, so I will say goodnight to Miss K, and then to my co-host, Miss Robin. Thank you so much, and you're awake tonight.
Yeah,
Yay!
well, that Starbucks coffee.
Oh, yes.
Really help.
I appreciate caffeine, a caffeinated Robin very much. And so we'll try and end the show next week on a happier note than this week. This week was a little sad, but I will say goodnight.
Fun, though.
Yes, I will say goodnight, Miss Robin. And then to everybody out there in chat, thank you so much for joining us again. This was episode 47, wow, of Philo, and I will see you again next week for episode 48. Have a good one. Take care.